finally gets his Sudanese wake-up call. We on the road to 100 KOK. If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. Shouts out to the celebrity junk. Let's see what it's hitting for.
As you guys know, I live in Uganda, and over the last year, we have been receiving many refugees from Sudan. Not to be confused with South Sudan, but Sudan itself, okay? And the reason why this is the case is because there is a civil war, and one of the factions of that civil war is called the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces. Now, I'm not gonna go into great detail about this because I'm not a political channel. Let's just say that the RSF allegedly is being backed by the UAE, and these people typically are more Arabic Sudanese. And the people that they're committing genocide against is against the either black non-Muslims or just black Muslims. So, you know, that's kind of what's going on, all right? And these guys are wiping people out completely. And so that has caused so many people around the world to really pour their heart out to what's going on in Sudan.
The videos that have come out of Sudan in the last 48 hours have been some of the most horrifyingly inhumane videos I have ever seen. They're forcing people to dig their own graves and mowing them down, between women and children. They're going into hospitals, shooting people on their deathbed, and stealing the supplies. So much blood has been shed in Al Fashir in the last 48 hours that you can see that the soil is stained from drone footage. And the world continues to remain silent. The worst part about these videos is that they are not being filmed by the victims. They are being filmed and posted online by the perpetrators of these atrocities.
And even your boy Myron, who is from Sudan, he is now speaking out against this war. And he posted the other day, the Rapid Support Forces in scumbag Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, aka Hamedati, is a war criminal. There is a genocide going on in Sudan, and it's unacceptable for the world to stand idle. Now, Myron's parents are from Sudan, and I believe his family left in the 90s. I don't know if there was genocide going on, but it was under the repressive regime of al-Bashir, and he was becoming more and more radical with Islam. So they got an opportunity to leave, and so they did. And Myron, despite being from an Islamic background, has called out the hypocrisy of Islam in numerous podcasts.
What if a bunch of Christians went to Saudi Arabia and said, you know what, bro, we're going to start, we're going to build up some churches here. We're going to yell, praise Jesus every single day. We're going to pray every single day. How long do you think that will last? See, that's the problem. You guys, right, expect everybody to tolerate your when you never tolerate their
Welcome, punch!
And this is why so many people are annoyed by Muslims, because you guys will sit there and say, well, we don't tolerate that. It's haram. No. Cool, fine, no problem. You don't want Christians in Muslim land? Fine. But don't, when you're in a Christian majority country, and say, yo, get these out of here.
Now, this is in response to what's going on in Dearborn, Michigan. And he makes a great point that Muslims would never accept Christians coming into their countries to have freedom of religion. But then at the same time, they want to force their religion and ideologies on somebody else, despite the fact that their own home countries are down bad. And then he continues on.
Look, this is coming from a guy that's Arab. I grew up in a Muslim household. Guys, I will be the first one to tell you guys, Sharia law is not compatible with democracy. It's not. It simply isn't. Okay? Like, does Islam have a lot of things right? Yes, but does it have some other things wrong when it comes to democracy and having a multicultural capitalist nation? It has a lot of things wrong with that. It's not conducive to a capitalistic society that is, prone on giving people liberty. It is what it is. I can say this as a because I have the ability to divorce my feelings and my personal experiences from fact. Sharia law is not compatible. We can't have a majority Muslim nation, United States. It will never work. Our freedom of speech will be gone. Our Second Amendment will be gone. There'll be violence in the streets. We'll have issue with women all mating with the same top guys. This is why there's so much destabilization in Middle East countries, because the top guys have all the because polygamy is accepted. Like, it just doesn't work on a societal level when you want to have liberty.
But wait, there's more.
And you want to, and then the other thing too, let's be honest, a lot of these Arab countries, why do they got to have monarchies? Because they don't know how to behave. They got to be dictators to get their people online. Let's be 1,000, right? This is what we think. I'm the one that's got to say it because I guess I'm able to blend in and say the uncomfortable things that everyone's thinking. It doesn't work. This is why these motherfuckers always got to be dictators. Don't listen in the Middle East, man. I can tell you, I'm an Arab myself. So look, it is what it is. Sharia law, Islam, it's not compatible with a democracy. It is what it is, man. That's why you can't have a Muslim majority country in the United States or a Western country. And you're looking at the UK. The UK is what the United States is going to be, man. We can't bring these Moroccans, Indians, Pakistanis, all these guys that come in here and try to impose Sharia law in America. And this is coming from a guy that's Muslim. I hate saying it, but it's the truth, man. I'm able to tell the truth.
See, the thing about Myron, he's not a real Muslim, though, bro. He has no culture, bro. He grew up in America, bro. He has no cultural ties, bro.
And this is coming from a guy that's Muslim. I hate saying it, but it's the truth, man. I'm able to tell the truth even if it doesn't benefit me.
So here he's saying, something similar. Like, listen, Islam, it's not going
Yeah, because it's not going to benefit you.
to work in America. Those people are going to try to turn America into, what's going on in London. All right. And this is why a lot of people, when I lived in Poland, they were quite hostile to Muslims. As you know, Poland is a very hardcore Catholic country, like super, super hardcore, right? And so here is Myron taking the side of the blacks, right? He's basically calling this crisis, right? So people start to comment, I don't care, Myron, and you shouldn't either. Now, here is what happens with Myron. Myron has forgotten that, number one, you are very, very disrespectful towards blacks in general. You're not really disrespectful as much to Muslims or black Muslims, but you are disrespectful to blacks. And so what you see going on in your homeland, you don't like. And the reason why you don't like it is because it could be your family being targeted and all of that. So you have a connection. You can't say what's happening is great because it's destabilizing your homeland, it's destabilizing who you are. So there is no way you can agree with this. And so because you have been on social media down talking the blacks and, just doing everything for white zaddy, trying to get your cheeks clapped, these people don't care. And the reason why they don't care is because you taught them not to care. But look at how he's responding to these people that are saying that they don't care. Dude, no one really gives a F what you think. Innocent kids are dying. Get off my comment section, F word. Well, there are innocent kids that are dying in many different places. And I agree, innocent kids are dying. And what is happening in Sudan is sad. I have a really good close friend of mine. He lives in an apartment complex with a bunch of these people. People had good businesses in Sudan. They were engineers, some of them, they were doctors, and their whole life is gone. So how could you not, as a human, for humanity, not feel for a person like this? Okay. But then again, Myron, when you spread this hatred towards everybody else, it's hard for somebody, and people are immature. They can't, say, well, Myron is saying that as a Sudanese person, but that doesn't give me the right to talk down on them. Not everybody's going to be like that. Okay. And this is where the issues come in, because the person responds, nobody cares about Sudan, but I do so because I'm Sudanese. I'm going to use my American platform to promote it. So like Ben Shapiro does this constant Israel posting, then trying to influence Americans to care about that isn't our business because of divided loyalties. So basically what they're saying is, listen, Myron, you blame Ben Shapiro and those loyal to Israel for trying to get the world to care about something that's not important. Now, obviously this is not apples to oranges because Myron doesn't really talk about Sudan, but in the case of a genocide, I can see why he is, speaking up on it. But what they're trying to say is, well, Myron, you're an American first. Why should somebody care about that when we're American first? Okay. And you don't like blacks anyway. So what's the point? So then you have this person. Why won't you criticize UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and their government? Myron gets upset. You're a slow person. I've called the Gulf state 100 times. It's clear your stupid Fs think I'm only on X. I stream. X isn't real. Well, if it's not real, why are you there every day? Thousands and thousands of hours a day. Bernie the Mac 81 says, so go help them instead of being on the internet talking about it. The F are you doing? Nothing. Person says, you're a blank Haitian and you voodoo people are cursed. Okay. So he's really getting dirty here. Maybe move back home. You rather grift in America though. Coward Sudanese. Have you financially contributed to help your people? Go back and fix your homeland. And I think Austin here, I didn't know you cared about people that look like this. Shout out to Austin Holloman. Again, Myron wants people to care about what's going on in his community, and the world should. But at the same time, if you want people to care about what's going on with your community and your people, you need to show respect to a group of other people, especially those who have paved the way for people who look like you to be in America. Because the reality is this, Myron, those people who will flee that land.
Myron don't really care about them people, bro. He just saying something because he claimed it to a point. He don't give a fuck about them people though. Well, how much he talk about black people, he don't care about them people, bro. He grew up in America. He grew up in white America, wanted to be a FBI agent and became one his whole life. You know what I'm saying? So he don't care about them people, bro. He just talking, man.
Will grow up in someplace else. Some of those
That nigga probably ain't never been there in his life. You know what I'm saying?
Sudanese.
His parents probably ain't never been back. You know? And it's for good reason though. You know what I'm saying? For good reason though. You know?
Are going to be in Egypt. Some of those Sudanese are going to be in Ethiopia. Some of those Sudanese will be coming into Kenya. Some of those Sudanese will be going to Uganda. And some of those Sudanese may make it to America. They may make it someplace else. But the story is this. The reason why they're there is the same reason why your dad and you are in America. Because you can't get it together. So if you can't get it together, or if your country can't get it together, imagine somebody like you who's talking down on somebody else who was actually stolen from another place, all right, and forced into it where you're free in your homeland and you guys can't even get anything right. You've been unstable for the last 30 to 40 years, and then now this is happening. And this is what happens to almost every person that I know that's a foreigner. I know so many people who are hating on me because I live in Uganda, and they live somewhere in Texas, they live somewhere in Europe, and they're talking about how I'm an agent, but they don't want to be nowhere near the smoke because you can't leave your new posh house, or God forbid you have to drive your Mercedes Benz in Sudan and dodge them bullets right now. And the reality is that many of the foreigners that come to America that are critical of black people, you're targeting the wrong person, because what's happened is that your own home country can't do anything right. We see it for what it is. We know that is what it is, and there is no denying that. And this is no disrespect towards Sudan, but I've lived overseas in the last 10 years, and I used to always wonder, how do these foreigners come over to America and some of them do so well? Is because their countries are producing so much talent, and talent is everywhere. But the reality is that if you lived in, even in Poland, and Poland is second world, right? It's close to being first world. The opportunities are not as many as it is in America. Not at all. If you're in Africa, opportunities are there, not as many, because of gatekeeping, because of lies, because of people stabbing you in your damn back. Oh, they don't want to talk about that, do they? No, they don't want to talk about that. And so then you get somebody like Myron, who is so critical of Black America, and then when it comes to your people, you want somebody to show your people some love and consideration. And granted, they should get that, because it's not their fault that you're silly.
It's not even his people though, bro, because he doesn't really identify with them, bro. He has no connection to them. That's not his people, bro.
It's not their fault that you have hatred in your heart towards black people in America, right? But then at the same time, when you have disrespect to other blacks, some people are going to be like, well, man, F what's going on with your community, because that's how you feel about us. And it's still wrong to say that, but I can see why people do it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Dude Jackson back at it again.
Yeah, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap that all shit up out yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at y'all on the next one, and I'm gone. T.Y. Pit 9.